Hey everyone, welcome back to the Ground Up Podcast, coming to you from the Level Wellness Studio inside B2 Wellness Suites here in sunny Brentwood, Tennessee. The show that turns pain into pivot and gives you the confidence to build your business. I am Terry Bargy. I am one of your hosts of this show, and I'm here today with just Vanessa Hampton because Roy is MIA, running a small clothing
Empire.
line. What's the word I want to look for? Kingdom. Kingdom?
Empire.
Empire. Dang, that's the word I was looking for the whole time.
I said that. You just didn't hear me.
Yeah. Well, it's because I get in the zone. Hi, Vanessa.
Hola. Hola, Terry.
Hola. We spent a lot of time goofing off before the show starts. So it's always like, oh, crap, the cameras are on. Let's go. So you and I are hanging out today, and I want to spend some time and I want to go through some of the things that we are working on collectively. But before we do that, we definitely need to take this time to make an announcement about something new.
All kinds of announcements.
So you are now part owner of Nashville Fit Magazine. How does that feel?
It's official. It feels great.
Elaborate.
And that's all I got.
Nothing else.
I'm very excited. This has been in the works for quite a while.
Yeah, we're very excited to have you. You've come in over the last, I feel like since April of last year.
It's been a work in progress over the last year.
Yeah, you've been helpful in helping with the administrative side of things and reshaping and systematizing that. So for us, it's been very, very helpful. Obviously, more than that, you've become our pseudo HR and our pseudo event planner. So you guys listening at home, like, it does take a lot to run a small business, and we are right there, small to medium size, and it does, like, that means that all of us wear
lots of hats.
Lots of hats, 4 to 5 at a time, really.
Yeah.
So congratulations.
Thank you. Would you like to make the other announcements too about your part?
Well, yes, but that's going to make more sense when we get to those things. But in this show, we are going to cover, like we said, we're going to cover all the things. So
you asked me to talk.
I've also become part owner of some of the things that you're doing, or all the things. Maybe there's some things I don't know. Which is WellPro
Good
Thrive.
grief, I hope there's not anything else that you don't know.
Yeah. WellPro Thrive networking. We also now are partnered up on B2 Wellness Suites, where we're at right now, and with Bodywell. And we're going to talk about each one of those things, along with what NFM looks like since you've come on board, and how we've streamlined and changed some things. But before we do that, why don't we get into WellPro Thrive? Let's talk about that first.
Okay. WellPro Thrive is our networking group for fitness and wellness professionals. We formed this. This was the first thing we started doing together in order to build a network specifically for fitness and wellness, because it is something that is missing.
Yeah, for sure.
In the industry. There's networking groups, but I was finding that there's not a lot of fitness and wellness professionals that attend those, probably because it seems like mostly business, but networking is networking. You never know who you're going to meet. But we specifically formed this group to provide support and connections in the fitness and wellness industry. So we've been doing that. It is a free networking group. We've kind of tried different types of strategies with it, but at the end of the day, we just want to bring people together and provide that support and collaboration. And it is it's going very well. It's being very well received.
Hence the name, WellPro.
WellPro.
Hey, we got to liven up the infomercial a little bit. Why? Here's a question for you. Here's a softball question for you. What do you think, or why do you think, I guess it's better stated, that they need to be different as far as, like, almost, I guess, on some level, siloed, having this networking group different than others?
Well, I think business is business. A small business is small business, and there's a lot of foundational elements. But I think when you're a service professional, especially in the wellness industry, a lot of us get into it for our hearts, for our passions with it. And I think we can tend to get so involved in doing session after session or seeing clients on an ongoing basis that we forget that we need to have other people that we're surrounded with, because when you are in a session or only with clients all day long, it's a big miss. I think you can go to different networking groups and make valuable connections. So it doesn't necessarily need to be the only thing you do, but being with like-minded professionals and having other professionals that are in the same industry trying to do the same things, there's going to be a lot of commonalities, so you can get different things out of that. What
Yeah.
is your opinion on that?
Well, I think you're 100% right, because where, like you said, foundational business is business. The difference with the wellness industry is that you typically have a lot of folks that are making a jump to it from something else that's completely different.
True. Very true.
Different industry. Maybe they for instance, you're a great example. You came out of banking and decided that you had a passion for fitness and that you wanted, you're willing to take the pay cut, willing to get into fitness. Now, your experience favors business more than most. But for me, I jumped out of landscaping.
Right. And that's true. A lot of people come from different.
I was in a blue collar situation coming into, and that changes the dynamic a little bit. One, how you present yourself and your business. Two, how the business is structured. And then how do you appeal to the clients in that sense too? So, if you only have a certain level of life experience, right, and you're dealing with high level clients that are, their life experience is up here, how do you bridge that gap?
Yeah, that's a good point.
There's a lot of things to think about in that sense. So that's why I think it makes the most sense.
I think the other thing with the collaboration is that wellness and fitness, it's a natural referral base for you. So when you make those connections with people in the same industry, clientele that are coming for those services are oftentimes interested in taking care of themselves in general. So if you can have other professionals that you can refer to and vice versa, then there's a huge benefit there of networking with that.
Well, to piggyback on that, collaboration works best within its own industry. Not that it can't happen outside of it, out of, industry to industry. Like, for instance, we work with WellPoint on a lot of things, and they're an insurance company that is health adjacent, but it's typically not prevention adjacent. So being able to work with WellPoint is a good example of outside, a little bit of outside industry collaboration. Inside an industry like the wellness industry, collaboration makes everybody stronger if you can find that right collaborative partner. And it looks like different things in different circumstances to different people. So, but it's more primed for that type of, to not overuse the term collaboration. So, I mean, if you think about that, that's how we got to know each other through collaborating on something entirely different with another company.
And still in the fitness arena.
That's what I mean. Yeah. So that's the type of stuff that you don't know if you're going to meet your next, business partner. So
all you have to do is put yourself out there.
That's right.
So we have monthly meetings.
Go on.
You
jump right in there. I like this. Go.
We have monthly meetings, and you can find out at wellprothrive.com when those are, and you just have to show up. We oftentimes are, one of the things we're really trying to do, we've played with some different ideas about going to different businesses and having the meetings there to highlight businesses, but it tends to get a little complicated when you're trying to coordinate schedules in different areas and things like that. So right now we've decided just to have it here at B2 in Brentwood. It seems to be easy for people to get to. We're trying to get really consistent going forward with when the meetings are, so that you can put them on your calendar and plan for them, schedule them in. And so you can check out wellprothrive.com for finding out when the next meeting is. And it's just a show up. We're both introverts. So networking is not something that comes natural to us. Right. Which is another reason that we gravitated towards each other in doing this together, instead of having to go all these networking groups and put ourselves in the middle of people that we don't know solo. Yeah.
And it's a safe space for that, because it does make it easy. The groups aren't huge. Like-minded individuals, there is a bit of a difference there. than other networking groups. I've been in networking groups where you end up, talking to a 7-figure CEO, and you're like, man, it's really hard to connect the dots here. uh, Great people, right? But industry advice is going to be a lot different. So it's a lot easier to make those connections. But talking about the future, where do you see WellPro thrive as far as growth, or do you see it growing?
That is why we're such good partners, because you tend to have the future vision a lot better than I do. We talk about this a lot if you've ever watched this podcast, but I am, what's the next right thing to do? And you are, oh, this is where we're going.
Yeah.
So I haven't thought too far ahead. It's really for me about bringing people together and supporting them. And so I know there's a lot of potential with it, but where do you see it going?
I think it would be really cool to see chapters start popping up with their own individual leaders. Maybe it's across town. I mean, I guess certainly it'd be across town, but we would like to see it in areas that we were trying to expand to as well. We're working on starting one in Chattanooga. Ben down there for ChatFit is working on those logistics. So like I'd like to see it continue to sprout up in places.
For sure.
Like that. So, and being able to support those individuals in that way too would be really, really cool. So yeah, I have a hard time of just seeing anything just be. So right now, like that's what I would love to see, it continue to grow and thrive. WellPro
you
thrive.
Got all kinds of them today.
Zinger! No?
And we're only in the first segment. Stay tuned.
Don't go to break yet.
He's here all day.
So yeah, WellPro. I think WellPro Thrive also complements what we do. That's the reason. Actually, that's the reason why I wanted to start with it, because it is that when we talk about Nashville Fit, there is often a need there for consulting, and typically it happens when we're talking about something else, or people will come up to us at events and they want to know how to fix their business and how to streamline this and maybe build a funnel or whatever. It's not an ideal circumstance to have those conversations, where WellPro Thrive is a perfect place for that. So it gives us an outlet to continue to help businesses in the way that we want to. Our goal is to bring everybody up as we grow too. So
we are all about community and everything we're doing.
Yeah. So what is our next WellPro Thrive event?
Well, I don't know when this airs, but our next one is tomorrow night. You can probably check out the website for pictures.
Not airing before tomorrow night.
April 13th, maybe. The next one in April is, I think it's April 13th or 16th. I can't remember, but wellprothrive.com certainly remembers.
Yeah, you check out the website. You can RSVP there or on SweatPals. If you have SweatPals, you can find them on SweatPals. But you also send out a newsletter. Tell everybody what they can expect in the newsletter.
The newsletter it's been a work in progress, but it's always about the next meeting. And then if we have other things going on, because we are all things fitness and wellness, it's a good place for us to keep people in the know about the things that we think would support or help or could be potential opportunities for fitness and wellness professionals. So
there you go. Just like that.
Yep, just like that.
So you don't have a vision for where WellPro is going, huh?
Well, I mean, again, just trying to make it to tomorrow. Sometimes it's like that. When I really originally had the first thought about WellPro, I thought, oh, this could be really good, because my whole mission and what I feel like I'm put on this earth to do is to support people, and especially people in now the people that are supporting other people, and that's the fitness and wellness professionals. So WellPro, the networking group in general, was more of, oh, this is a need because nobody's doing it in our industry. So it was more about that. I can see so much potential in just gathering a group of people and having people connect. So for me, it's not big, not so much long-term, just more of how many people can we bring together and support?
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. That fits. So, all right, we're going to get into a little bit more exciting stuff right after this quick break.
At Optimize You, we believe that normal is not optimal. Whether you've been dabbling in hormones or this is your first time and you want to know where to get started, we make the hormone optimization process very simple. Simply get started with comprehensive labs, and our providers will take it from there with you to review where you are right now and where you want to be to ultimately help you achieve your health and performance-related goals. So from our expertise in hormones, peptides, all the way to recovery services, we want you feeling at your optimized best so that you ultimately feel better physically, mentally, and sexually. Just like hormones playing a significant role in the overall optimization of your health, so do recovery services help your body on a cellular level. From our sensory lounge to our infrared sauna, full body red light, full body cryotherapy, cold plunge, we have a wide range of performance recovery services just for you.
And we're back from what felt like a long break. Just for reference for everybody who's listening to this and maybe watching at home, there's a door directly behind the camera with glass on it. And during the break, one of the
People just walk in.
One of the tenants came in here and we had some solid laughs. So we're trying to recover and move into. We should have kept him on the podcast.
Next time he's coming back.
The reality of the matter. So, all right. So prior to the break, we talked a little bit about WellPro Thrive, or a lot about WellPro Thrive, and what it means for what we're doing with Nashville Fit. So, important thing, if you guys have been consumers of our Nashville Fit's content over the almost 11 years now, you've noticed that there's been some slight changes over time. With Ryan Freebing being an owner for the first half of the brand, to Nicole during the COVID years, and then us, we took the magazine and we turned it into a media company that offers a lot of things. So we do advertising. We certainly do. There's advertisers on this very podcast, as you just noticed from that break. Mm-hmm. So we built a podcast network that we'd like to continue to grow. We have advertising opportunities on there as well. We do have our app that we try to talk about as much as we can, because it is all things Nashville Fit, including fitness and nutrition inside the app. We still have our website that there's 2 to 3 articles going up on the website about every day.
Full of information.
Yeah, it's a lot. So you've got that RSS feed and you click that button. I don't know if anybody still does that or not, but crickets over there. Okay, moving on. We also do interviews. We'll pop in and do business spotlights or episodes on our YouTube channel. There's one that I call Good Vibes, which is usually us featuring or talking to a nonprofit. We went to a nonprofit field trip this morning and out at what's Faith Farm or by Faith Farm.
Yeah. Which was great.
It was a lot of fun. A lot of fun. So that interview will be coming soon too. So I say all this to say that in doing all of that, our real goal is to foster collaboration over competition in the fitness industry as a whole. I look at the industry and I see it being broken in that way. So a lot of siloed individuals, there's a lot of competition, there's a ton of ego. Everybody is loyal to their modality and oftentimes loyal to their people inside of that modality. You hear people, it used to be a lot more common for people to throw a ton of shade at CrossFit, but that's a good example, or Planet Fitness, as John Burton likes to call it, Janet Kitness.
So how do you see Nashville Fit being the fosterer of collaboration over competition?
Well, that I think has a lot to do with our ecosystem. And what we like to do is, and it sounds kind of funny, but you brought this up a little while back, is that we collect people.
Mm-hmm. We're people collectors. That's what we do.
And we do that we're looking for people of good character that have a business that they are trying to grow, that are willing to collaborate, because collaboration is great in fantasy in dreamland, It's like, it sounds like, it sounds a little bit frou-frou in the sense it sounds easy. It sounds like everybody's invited to the table. There's room for everyone. But the reality of the matter is it always costs you something.
And sometimes it's difficult to concede to that.
True, but it's almost, I would say, 95% of the time, it's worth it
Absolutely.
every ounce
Even
of
if you
what
get
you're
burned
giving
on
up.
it,
Yeah.
it's absolutely worth it.
Yeah, the collaboration is key in that sense. So we do that through events, through the podcast. through the
Events in what way?
interviews. Well, events like the Downtown National Partnership, when we're meeting folks, or
When we're offering free classes.
correct, free workouts at
Mhm.
Riverfront, or we're being invited to table at an event, whether it's a nonprofit event or it's a race. We're always looking for opportunities to meet and connect with individuals and businesses, business owners, service providers.
We support events too, as far as putting
Correct.
on events
Yeah.
when needed for some of these nonprofits and fitness businesses, that sort of thing.
Right.
It's all levels of events.
Yeah. The fun part for me, so what gives me the most joy is actually coaching and consulting business owners. I just had one earlier today, and it's just so much fun. I love helping solve those problems, and it's fun because for me, looking at your business from 30,000 feet is easy.
Mm-hmm.
And connecting with you as a person and remembering the personhood of the business is another thing that I really enjoy talking about and shining a light on. And that can come as a part of whatever advertising
What we do.
services
Yeah.
you subscribe to, and there are many. So we're not just bent on being I guess an amplifier for what you're doing, just singing your business praises, and using your funds to support what we're doing, even though those things do happen and we can't survive without that support.
But we are there to support.
Yeah, but we're
too.
hell bent on
Yeah.
we're hell bent on growing and helping business owners relieve some of that stress. Well, that's the reason why this podcast exists.
Mm-hmm.
So, what do you, when in your mind with Nashville Fit, what drew you to wanting to be a partner outside of my magnetic personality?
Well, there's that. There's that.
On the Enneagram, apparently I'm a soft 8. So pliability is is that what that means? I don't know. No. People are listening. They're Enneagram aficionados are like,
I think
no,
it just
that's
means,
exactly not
I just
what that
think
means.
it means that you're a little less hard-headed than I am. Just a little, maybe.
Appreciate you throwing yourself under the bus.
The reason that it appealed to me is because of your mission from the beginning. There was so much alignment with everything that I believe, and there's so much alignment with the reason that we both do what we do. And so the way that I see Nashville Fit is to be the voice and the face for fitness and wellness professionals in the industry in Nashville, and beyond. And so I saw it as a really great opportunity to continue to be a part of what is a continuation of what I have been on a mission to do in supporting those businesses, and ultimately what those businesses are doing, because it's all for me about the fitness and wellness, helping other people at the end of the day, the end client of people that need help. So
yeah. I think that's what made us good at being trainers too. We naturally want to run to where there's a need. So amplifying that, for me, that became very clear a little over 10 years ago when I was kind of pivoting into that. It's actually longer than that. If I look back, it's probably closer to 15 years ago, where I noticed that I was doing a lot more mentoring of trainers, and working with trainers to help them both be good trainers, but also be good business people in that sense. And I'm like, oh, this is fun.
Well, I think what was exciting for me from running a small business, fitness and massage, we'll talk about Body Well later, but the original business that I did, number one, because I was always with other people. I was always the service professional. I'm trying to run my small business and also do training, and then eventually also do massage and do all the things. Thinking about actually having help for promoting those services, because I was so busy being in the business, working on the business, and having help with being able to get exposure and have that support that Nashville Fit provides. That was what was so appealing of, oh, this is so needed, on several levels. So that was another big thing, that it was just a natural fit of, this is why I need to support this mission.
Yeah. And as far as where you want, I don't know if I've ever asked you this question. I think you know where I want to go. Where would you like to see Nashville Fit, as far as, maybe let's put it out 3 years from now, like vision wise?
Well, we've already started expanding into other cities to help support them do the same thing. I think for me, my vision for Nashville Fit is for us to continue on with what we've really honed in on in the last 6 months, especially really supporting the nonprofits and bringing those together with the fitness and wellness industry, and just growing it in Nashville, growing our presence in Nashville, being a bigger voice, having people automatically know what Nashville Fit is, and kind of even with like the downtown partnership, having people in other cities and outside the state know what we do and why we do it, because it's a unique brand. It's a unique offering of what we do. So that's really, if I have a 3-year vision, that it's really what I see is our main, one of the main things is more, everybody knows what we do, and we're able to help more people in the city and in the expansion cities that we're trying to get into.
Yeah, mine's shifted a little bit, honestly, since November of last year. There's a lot to do with doing the event for the unhoused.
That felt so right, and has since then, for all of the types of things that we're doing.
It's just something I haven't really fully thought through, because with the vision for us is always, obviously, collaboration over competition, but want to make Middle Tennessee a healthier place. So like there's one that's the collaboration part is more like internal business to business for us. The external one that to our readers and the people that listen to this podcast for that reason is to make Middle Tennessee a healthier place. So,
and healthy means what?
That's the thing, is that means a lot of different things to different demographics. And when you open that up that way and you start, dissecting it on that level, well, to the unhoused population, that looks like a job, and maybe a shower and some food and a bus pass, a way out, some sort of consistency and structure. For our lower income folks, it's access to things that, the fact of the matter is we've marketed fitness and wellness pretty dang well, almost too well, in the sense that it doesn't feel approachable to a class of people who don't have the expendable income. Therefore, it feels impossible to achieve. So making health and fitness available to that demographic is, showing up for a self-care Saturday, or putting on a fitness mixer, or the free workouts downtown at Riverfront.
I think
ways to do
it's
that
an
stuff.
opportunity for us to give back in a way, because of our resources, because of what we've worked so hard to do, to be the people collectors and bring everything that we have done to be able to make an impact in that way. I think I envision us doing more and more of that.
Yeah.
It feels like the piece of the puzzle.
That said, that's what I would like to see moving into other cities. I would like to see that same type of piece of I think it's a necessity. I want to see that in the next city where we plan stuff. I know Ben's working really hard in Chat Fit to do that right now as well.
Yeah.
We were very thankful again to have the support of WellPoint, and because without their support, we wouldn't. It just would feel pretty impossible.
That's such a natural
Yeah.
partnership because they have the same heart.
And I like to point out that this vision got refined through a pursuit of figuring out how do we get to the city, like how do we get to the officials at Metro,
Mhm.
how do we be a ambassador for health and fitness to the local government. That pursuit's what got us to the
Doors were opened.
to helping the unhoused. So we're very excited to be able to do that, but we're just as excited to have the partner or the city's support too.
Yeah.
So that stuff means a lot. So a lot there for what Nashville Fit looks like now compared to what it may have looked like in the past. Plenty of opportunity to give back, plenty of opportunity to grow your business, plenty of opportunity to get out and collaborate with other individuals, and certainly a lot of opportunity to get fit. Matter of fact, there's the wealth of resources on NashvilleFitMagazine.com. You can grab the app there. You can shoot us an email and see how you can get involved. We'd love to do that. And after this break, we're going to get into a couple of other fun things, one of which is B2 Wellness Suite. So
Where we sit.
that's right. Stay tuned. We'll be right back.
And we're back. I did it, Terry.
You did it. There's more.
I brought us back. Before the break, we were talking about Nashville Fit and what we envision for the future of Nashville Fit and why we do what we do with Nashville Fit. This segment, we are going to be talking about one of our other businesses, Where We Sit Now, B2 Wellness Suites.
See, look at that.
It's there.
I tell you that it's not as easy as it looks.
No, I mean, you put me on the spot, to be fair. If I had been able to prepare,
I'm not sure how that's
I might
different
have
from
done
any
a
other
better
day.
job. Anyways, B2 Wellness Suites is one of our other businesses.
How did you come up with B2 Wellness Suites?
Well, I did not have to have a brick and mortar for fitness because the fitness side of BodyWell, which we'll talk about later, that I started in this industry with was in communities and still is. When I started massage, I had to have a brick and mortar. And so finding office space as a wellness professional is pretty miserable because you don't need 5,000 square feet most of the time, and you don't need a 5-year contract. You can't afford it. You really just need 150 square foot office for a lot of service professionals like that. So I was in a Regis, which is a corporate co-working type situation. No individuals around me that served the purpose. There was title companies and IT professionals and things like that. So the vision started then of there's got to be a better way. We have salons for hair professionals where they provide spaces for hair professionals, small business hair professionals. So the vision was, why can't we do that for wellness and wellness in general, because of exactly what we were talking about in the first segment with Well Pro Thrive, the collaborative environment, the support,
Right.
the referrals, all of that. So that was where the vision was born. And then, it was just a vision, and I got frustrated with the space that I was in. And that frustration is what drove me to take the plunge and open B2.
And in the amount of time you've been up, was it been 2 years now or almost 2 years?
It will be 2 years in May that we open the doors of the first space where we're sitting.
And you've expanded twice or 3 times?
We expanded downstairs twice, in Mount Juliet once, and then again last month in Mount Juliet. So we've expanded 4 times since then.
Jeez, let's try not to brag.
man. I mean, it hasn't been a cakewalk.
Well, what do you think is there's clearly a market for it. There's a niche here that you have found. What do you suppose is the pain point that you're reaching here with folks?
Exactly what we're talking about. Space is hard to find. Being in a space where you have other professionals of the same industry is difficult. You don't find it a lot. You may find some of those places that are curating different specialties within their space, where they're have a wellness center that has a chiropractic, massage, whatever, for the client purposes. The whole premise of B2 is the opposite. We focus on the professionals and their business so that they can better focus on their clients. Their clients is not our direct focus, but we create the environment for them to better serve their clients. So that's the whole premise. So in B2, we don't have, it's that whole collaboration. We may have multiple massage therapists, multiple chiropractors, multiple acupuncture, mental health therapy in Mount Juliet. There's not a competitive environment. It's all, we are here to do the same thing, and we are going to support each other in the process. We have cross marketing in the lobbies and amenities focused towards wellness professionals in the way that their clients check in laundry areas, in little rehab areas that are common use. That sort of thing is where the target comes from.
I think you're like in the world of people saying it's not a competitive environment, and really it is. It's definitely not here.
No, it's not. And people love it for that reason.
Yeah.
We rarely have anybody that walks through the door and is like, oh, is that another chiropractor? They don't care.
Yeah.
Because most of the people, what we get here is you either have established service professionals that are looking for a home for their business that is better suited than what they're in now, or you have somebody that is working for a bigger box facility that is looking to step out on their own. So we offer share space where they can do 1 or 2 days a week. We offer full-time space if that supports where they're at right now. What my whole mission has been is just to meet everybody where they're at, to try to provide those solutions for them.
Give everybody a little bit more insight on the space specifically. So each office is on average a certain size. Mm-hmm. Mind you, this office is a lot bigger. And I know some of those are harder to rent because of that, but what's the ideal size?
The sweet spot for most professionals is 100 to 150 square feet. If you have a massage therapy office, generally it's about 100 to 120 square feet. You may have a chiropractor that likes a little more space, or certain types of practices, a nurse practitioner that needs a little more space. Some of them bigger. We have some that are 200 plus square feet. But I would say all of the ones on both floors here, we have about 40 different offices, and all of them range between 100 to 230 square feet or something like that.
I like it. And we have a lot of friends here too. Like
we do.
Our good buddy Joe Adams from the Relentless Pursuit podcast is now down the hall.
Yep.
And that stuff's fun. It's also fun getting to the chance to like stop in and check in on people, and them get a chance to stop in to our office too, which happened just like that break
just
earlier
a little
today.
while ago.
Yeah. It's good stuff. Where do you want to see B2 grow to?
So I don't have an end point in mind, but I do have a vision for it to be in a lot of other places, because I don't think Nashville is specific in their need for this type of thing. I don't think that, we have a lot of co-working spaces in Nashville and other cities, but I don't believe that there is anything like what B2 is doing. I did a deep dive 2 years ago into what is the competition, what is the, what are people already doing? And I did not find anything that was focused specifically on the professional. It was all the endpoint client and curated businesses instead of what we're doing. So my vision is for there to be, after it's exhausting when you do an expansion. We just expanded in Mount Juliet last month. We're still working on that, and that's about to be an actual public co-working space mixed in with the offices.
Sure,
for wellness.
More excitement. Just brushed right past that.
I'm very excited about it. I'm very excited. We will be doing that in April 1st, right around there. I don't know what the dates are. Shh, don't.
Literally right around the corner.
Don't. We've got Easter. We've got Easter, so we have a little bit more time. But no, we will be opening that in April for the general public to be able to have a quiet co-working space that is wellness focused in Mount Juliet. So that'll be a test for that type of. It's a little bit different than Brentwood. Brentwood is mostly offices. We have a few share space tenants, but mostly full-time offices. Mount Juliet is a completely different. We do have some full-time offices, but we have a lot of share space tenants. We have the co-working space that's going to be opening. So, I mean, the vision ultimately, you talked about a vision that I hadn't even really thought about. You wanted me to ask. I'm going to kick this back to you. Tell me about your vision for it, Terry.
Me? I would never do that. Lay up a question that would be easy for me to answer. That doesn't sound like me at all. No. Well, I immediately saw that for an individual, there's a couple of different ways I see it. We're in this facility here where you have almost the entire upstairs, and you've got a good bit of the second floor. There's not a lot left in the building. So there's about, I would say 20% of the building is unoccupied by you. Or by B2.
Yeah, probably.
So when I think about that, there used to be a bank on the bottom floor, and that giant space. Coming from the fitness industry, to me that looks like a gym. It would be really cool to have some sort of, similarly to having a wellness space where, service providers like massage therapists and chiropractors can rent rooms, but also having a collective space where trainers can bring their clients to. And have a gym on the premise would be really, really cool, along with recovery services, such as, but not limited to, cold plunge or sauna or stuff like that. And I even thought about this the other day too, like having treadmills where you can just walk while you're on a phone call, like a room dedicated to a couple of treadmills where you could be on the phone. Like
that would be so cool.
Yeah, because we pace like crazy when we're on the phone around here. When I was working from home, I would take a call and take a walk, which was very difficult with traffic, airplanes and semi trucks.
How that would be really cool with the co-work. Y'all are seeing it in action.
Yeah, it's happening right now.
The co-working spaces have those little phone booth rooms.
Right.
We could have the little treadmill rooms.
That's what I'm saying.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Stay tuned.
Yeah, I think about stuff like that. I think, and that's where it's where these big box gyms have gone too. They have they're coming to town. They're pinching the boutique gyms a little bit. But the reason they're able to do that is because they have everything from a barber to a coffee shop to a full-on like restaurant to massage therapy. There's one of them, Legacy, has a co-working space in it too. So it's these gyms are getting privy to the fact that if you're really into fitness and your life kind of revolves around you getting your workout in, why not make some of those amenities a little easier for you to get a hold of, by just including them in your, in the membership in the space. So I think about that with here for sure, but it's also a gateway. Like this business model is a gateway to owning commercial real estate. And I would love to see that in the future, because you could really truly expand if you were able to leverage that. And then
trying to breathe a little bit when you say that.
Yeah, this is, and then getting into different cities, much like, Wellport Thrive and Nashville Fit, there's room to collectively expand. That much is for sure, even though each city has a different business landscape, so on and so forth, like finding that's a little bit trickier to do remotely. But yeah, that's basically what I see. Why does that make you nervous?
Potential. Oh, so you are the On the Ground Up podcast. As business owners, when you have to invest funds for something like this. So coming from being a personal trainer that was in communities that never wanted a brick and mortar because I didn't want the overhead.
Yeah, it's true. No, it's true.
To here we are. And
all this overhead.
It is not a cheap endeavor when you take a dive into a venture like B2. Well worth it. It's great. But the thought of purchasing and having that responsibility, especially after I've seen what I've had to have the building owners do for some of the spaces that we are renting. It just sounds like a lot, which I know there's a lot of ways, but that just,
Yeah, and you're not wrong. It's definitely not.
it's kind of like owning a house versus living in an apartment.
Yeah.
Except on a much bigger scale.
Yeah.
Those HVAC units aren't cheap.
That's exactly right.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's a lot of things to consider with that. But that's not unlike any other vision you would have.
Right.
You got to count the cost, you got to make the plan,
Mm-hmm.
and then potentially you pivot if you got to. So that's what I see. I think there's some real power in that. And I know the model isn't an exact comparison, but if you think about WeWork
Mm-hmm.
and how they borderline IPO'd and before anybody ever realized the fact that they don't own anything.
Yeah.
Like they were subletting everything.
Mm-hmm.
But the reason why it tanked and people, they got into the trouble that they did is because there was there's no assets.
Right.
There's no real assets.
Right.
So think about that. If there were actually assets and they got that valuation for what they had created in these spaces that they created, like there's some real value there.
Yeah.
So my brain can't help but think about that. And there's a reason why I gravitated towards that story a couple of years ago, because now I'm living it.
Yeah.
It definitely feels like I loved, like that's me in a nutshell. I love to
See, you saw this vision. You just didn't know it was
read a
going to look
story.
exactly like this.
Read a story. Well, and the reality of the matter is in 2017 or 2016 on 8th Avenue South, we tried to start a co-working like part of our, it was a adjacent to our gym. We were a bit ahead of our time, and we were way out of budget. In reality of the matter is we just didn't have the funds to see it completely through, because it needed, it needs a couple of years or a year to get off the ground. So, but now here we are.
Here we are.
Use all that applied knowledge to what we're doing now. All right, we're going to take another quick break. Vanessa's going to bring us back for the final segment because she's so good at it.
The pressure.
We'll be right back after this.
And we're back. Terry?
Well,
I'm getting better.
Turns out we're going to need a little more practice.
Yes.
Yeah. Last segment we talked about B2, and if you guys are just tuning in and you're tuning in on the WNSR, thank you for tuning in. We appreciate your support. We've spent a little bit of the day going through this show, going through a bit
all
of
things Terry and Vanessa.
a bit
what
of
we
a,
do.
a bit of an infomercial for all the things that we do. So, first segment we covered Well Pro Thrive. If you missed it, go back and listen.
Second segment
was Nashville Fit, and then we just finished up talking about B2. But there's one left. I know you're all thinking there couldn't possibly be more, but you would be wrong.
But there is. If it's fitness and wellness related, we got it covered.
Yeah, we do. So without the Bodywell is the next business that we want to talk about. And what is Bodywell, Vanessa?
So Bodywell is fitness and massage. Originally, Body Balance with V way back when, about 15 years ago, when wee little personal trainer Vanessa took off to change people's lives. That's where it started. And then added massage, started building a team with that because I couldn't handle the demand. And then added massage, I guess it's 6 years ago, going on 6 years ago now. And so we have two offices, one in Brentwood, one in Mount Juliet for massage. And so basically it is fitness and massage. It's expanded especially in the last several months, but especially here recently, we're leaning more into corporate and event massage. We've got partnerships that have come about that we're doing consistent chair massage services for them. We're staffing for massage things in different places. And then we are also in multiple communities now on a fitness basis, running fitness and wellness programs or staffing.
You said various places. You weren't kidding, because we've staffed for events in Texas, currently staffing for an event in Boston. So I
Yep.
know.
We're
So
everywhere.
yeah, wherever this podcast can reach, we may likely be able to help you.
Yes.
I would say probably within the continental 50 states, but
Yep.
yeah, it's a cool business model. It's needed, and it really marries well with what we're doing at NFM and WellPro for that matter, because of you're constantly in conversation with wellness professionals,
Mm-hmm.
and it's not a week goes by that I don't get either a request for a trainer, if I know a trainer or massage therapist or boot camp instructor or whatever, to someone sending me their resume and seeing if I can match them with a business. So
Yeah.
it happens a lot. So we like to try to cover or keep people in the know on our Instagram. So if there's a job posting, we like to reshare it. But aside from that, figuring out what else we can do in that area
Mm-hmm.
is why I think Bodywell is really, really cool. And you bunch all of these all together under one umbrella, and there is one other thing that we're working on, but we're working on a national imprint for all of these things to sit under that that gives them gives a little bit of national support across the board in that sense. So we're not ready to announce that yet. But
Yeah.
we're working on what that looks like.
When we started talking about bringing these business, looking at what all we had collectively, excuse me, we both kind of had the same vision, or we circled around similar vision of here's the businesses that we have. What does this look like together? And so what has that brought us bringing these together in your eyes?
Well, first of all, a lot of logistics.
Yeah.
Because there's a lot of moving parts, and trying to get them all to collaborate in a sense.
Cohesion.
The cohesion with the way they run.
Mm-hmm.
Because there's a lot of different, for us in the background, there's a lot of different systems that make it everything a little bit more individualized and a tad bit harder. But outwardly, how do they all work together? There's a lot that we know we're implementing, and there's a lot we don't know that we're looking to learn as far as growing those things together. And I'm sure there's going to be some pivots along the way that will further shape what it ultimately all looks like.
Basically what it looks like for me, we've got all things fitness and wellness covered, from the support of the fitness and wellness professional in Office Solutions to being the face of fitness and wellness in Nashville and beyond, to actually staffing and personal services for clients on that level. So that's the way that we've called it an ecosystem before of the whole thing and how it fits together. But yeah, it's growing and shaping, and we're kind of moving with it as it makes sense.
Yeah, you're 100% right. There's still a lot, I think, that we want to unveil in that way. Just even thinking about Bodywell, I think about our connections with some of these certifiers and how we can create a bit of a farm, if you will, for fitness professionals. So a farm league. My mind went to baseball.
Yeah,
thinking AAA, AAA ball. Well, in the last little bit of this show, I do want to spend a little bit of time talking to the listeners in the sense of hey, we did mention the app. The app is out there. You can download it really anywhere you can get apps, or you can just go to NashvilleFitMagazine.com, grab your 7-day free trial. You can check out a lot of things on there, including the new dating feature, thanks to our good friends over at Find. We also are working on bringing in more local trainers to do things inside the app so that you can work out and really just test out different businesses. So we're very excited to announce that Be Ready PT has a couple PT sessions inside the app now, help you work on things like your back, understanding how to deadlift better, and I think there's some knee support in there as well. There'll be more of that to come in the future. But you also can catch every podcast as soon as it comes out. You can get hold of the digital magazine before the print version hits the shelves. You do have all of those things. WellPro Thrive. You need to go to the wellprothrive.com, check out the events, get on the newsletter, get yourself ready for that. If you're listening, you're in the wellness industry and you need to network Maybe you're a wellness industry adjacent. Come anyway. We'd like to meet you and see, talk about what you do and, plug in somewhere. And if you're out there and you're listening to this at your office and you're thinking, wow, we could have an employee appreciation day and have some chair massage. We got you covered. We got your back.
Yeah. Or any kind of event. If you're having an event, a wedding, we've done bachelors and yeah.
Ezra's laughing because you completely missed my joke.
Yeah.
Oh, well.
It's very typical.
And then there's B2. If you're in the Mount Juliet area and you're looking for an office space or, the co-working option as well, pretty sure we're sold out here in Brentwood, right?
But don't hesitate to reach out. We do have, it is offices. So there is things coming up here in the summer. I think we probably will have a couple of options for you. We do have conference room, classroom for day rental purposes, especially in Mount Juliet. If you're looking to have a team meeting or you just need a place to work, we do recurring rentals. Anything that you need for office space solutions, don't hesitate to reach out. Brentwood and Mount Juliet will try to help you.
Yeah, and to close it out, if you guys have listened and you've heard us talk about some of these events that we're doing for, the unhoused with our Rise Up Nashville events or with Self-Care Saturday events, or you want to get involved with anything we're doing with nonprofits, or you have a nonprofit that you want to make us aware of, by all means, reach out, info@NashvilleFitMagazine.com. We'd love to include you in this. We're always looking for supporters to help help do some of this stuff. As we're doing, we're giving shoes away, we're giving hygiene bags away, we're working with the kids, we're giving backpacks away, we're giving food away, and all that stuff, isn't free. So helping us give to the less fortunate with your business or your brand would be super helpful. And that is what collaboration looks like. That is what making Middle Tennessee a healthier place looks like. And that is Nashville Fit, Well Pro Thrive, Body Well, and B2 Wellness. It's what we do. It's what's our main driver to the Music City Fit Expo as well. If you want to be a part on any level, please don't feel free to reach out. Again, info@NashvilleFitMagazine.com. We'd love to talk to you guys. We appreciate you tuning in. For Roy Mangrum, who couldn't be here today, Vanessa Hampton, myself, Ezra behind the engineering desk, Spread the Positive, all of us here at Nashville Fit Magazine, we thank you for tuning in. We ask that if you liked it, share it, subscribe, give us a rating, and we will catch you on the next one.